Today, is GameStop worth $100 billion? If you think so, please email CEO Ryan Cohen. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. We're back.
A dinosaur story.
We're not that old.
We're old enough to make and also understand that reference. GameStop is back in the news, and this time there's no scrappy underdog investor story providing main characters to cheer for or heckle, at least not yet. Earlier this month, almost 300 stores closed, while CEO Ryan Cohen was promised a conditional $35 billion payout. Some of these locations let their employees and customers know by taping a sign to the door, truly a hallmark of dignity. I know when Loading Ready Run goes out of business, I'm looking forward to suddenly learning I'm unemployed by unwrapping and reading a crumbled up ball of paper that management has thrown at me. Although in this joke, I might still be afforded something akin to privacy and not have to share my disappointment with the disgruntled customers who've just discovered that they have to drive 3 towns away to pick up their collector's edition Metroid Prime 4. Suffice it to say, many were shocked by the spontaneous store closures. Presumably wiping thousands of employee salaries from the books will help serve the goal of raising GameStop's market cap up to $100 billion, which is the condition the CEO needs to meet in order to get paid out the $35 billion pay package I mentioned earlier. That's awful. But you know what's not? Filling your own basement with all the things from GameStop that you enjoy. That's what very popular Redditor Chef Believe did. First they joked about it, then they started seriously considering it, then their wife bought them a glass display case for Christmas, and then a retail store near them went out of business, and they got a good deal on more furnishings. It was clearly a labor of love for Bill and took about a year to complete, but the results are pretty great. So for anyone good with tools and living near a recently closed GameStop, maybe Chef Believe's basement is an inspiration. Maybe a few of us with the means and the will can try to scrape together a lesson about enjoying things instead of just more lessons in capitalism. If any of you watching do open a GameStop in your basement, we're offering the following names for free. Games Top, Game Pots, Game Tops, Game Opts, Mega Tops, Mage Pots, Most Gape, Age Stomp, Stag Poem, Stempoga, and Electronics Boutique.
What are Ubisoft even doing right now? We don't know, but do they even know? Because it seems like they don't. For one thing, Mark Alexis Cote, a 20-year Ubisoft veteran who left the company last year, is now suing Ubisoft for reasons surrounding that very departure. Cote is asking for 2 years' salary plus $75,000 in moral damages because he alleges that Ubisoft forced him out involuntarily, but claimed he had left by choice in a scheme to avoid paying him severance. See, Ubisoft recently founded a new internal studio named Vantage as part of some arcane restructuring, and they'd allegedly told Cote he would lead it before essentially demoting him to a role under a newly appointed studio head, Charles Guillemot, who is, yes, the son of Yves Guillemot, CEO of Ubisoft. Oh, and apart from money, Cote also wants Ubisoft to retract their non-compete clause, because right now, Cote didn't get any severance, but also can't get another job in the industry. So that's all messy, but not as messy as Ubisoft's fresh restructuring. In a torturously worded press release, Yves Guillemot lays out a plan for Ubisoft's upcoming fiscal years by canceling 6 games, including the anticipated remake of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. The other 5 games were unannounced, but included 3 new IPs. Instead, that money and effort will be put towards a further 7 also unannounced titles. For a company that doesn't release that many games, it always seems they're working on a ton of games, or at least canceling a lot of games. Speaking of which, no word on Beyond Good and Evil 2, but while unconfirmed, the Black Flag remake is believed to be among those 7 that didn't get canceled, but did get further delayed. Will this bold new corporate right-sizing and its 5 noble houses be enough to stave off another round of aggressive takeover attempts? Signs point to who even cares.
It's Sonic's 30th anniversary! And to celebrate, Sega is finally saying what we've all been thinking. Enough with Sonic the Hedgehog already! We are fucking sick of the blue blur! What about fan-favorite side characters like Princess Amy, Knuckles the Feminist, or Espio the Chameleon. Surely Sega has noticed the sheer proliferation of Vector the Crocodile Pogs on the playground these last 30 years. And when are they going to get around to finally adapting the story of Charmy Bee into a hard-boiled noir detective thriller? Right now, in fact, Sonic the Hedgehog presents The Chaotix Case Files, a gritty, urban potboiler that features the Chaotix Detective Agency solving a mystery that threatens their very lives. And when can you play this game? Never! Because it's a podcast, a radio drama, and you can get it January 27th wherever fine podcasts are sold, but not on the Loading Ready Run aggregate RSS feed because it's not RIP and that would be weird. So what is Sonic to do while others take his 30th anniversary for a ride? Why, he's teaming up with another Sega property, Puyo Puyo, to celebrate their 35th anniversary. Puyo Puyo has been around for a long time, probably over 30 years by now, which might be hard to believe if you weren't familiar with the series. After all, in international markets, Puyo Puyo was usually released under reskins, such as Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Kirby's Avalanche, or Tetris the Grandmaster 3. Congrats to two great Sega properties getting released in the same year and somehow sticking around long enough to have anniversaries.
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella used so many words, and here to wade through those words is Cameron in a new segment we're calling... What?
Thanks, Graham. In a blog post titled, Looking Ahead to 2026, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella wrote, well, it's actually not terribly clear what he wrote. We here at CheckPoint have read the post, and it's psychically damaging, even if you're prepared for management standard English. Every time I read something a tech CEO has written, I feel like someone has taken a core sample of my brain and microwaved it for like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm beginning to worry that the damage is compounding because this barely even registers as language. Nadella lays out 3 problems that need to be solved. Or I think he does. He writes, this is some of what we need to get right, and then there's a colon and a numbered list. None of it makes sense, and it makes my tummy hurt. Readers quickly fixated on the line, we need to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication and develop a new equilibrium in terms of our theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools as we relate to each other, and manage to get MicroSlop trending on X the Everything app. Honestly, good for them, because that sentence gave me brain damage. Bro, what the fuck does develop a new equilibrium in terms of our theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools as we relate to each other even mean? First off, LLM use does not amplify cognition. An MIT study found the opposite. People who used an LLM in a task retained far less than the control group. Second, it's theory of mind, dumbass. Third, if people need to develop a new theory of mind because you crammed an LLM between them, you are not going to get that right because, among other things, you're Microsoft, not Nerve. I know it's counterproductive to pay much attention to anything a CEO says because they're not actually trying to communicate using words. The existence of the post signals to an audience, investors, employees, legislators, that someone is in charge and that they have a plan. But in this one case, I think attentive reading is useful. Let's rap about this part. We are still in the opening miles of a marathon. Much remains unpredictable. If you are running a marathon, under no conditions should much be unpredictable. You should know where you're going. You should know how you're going to get there and roughly how long it should take. You should also know what failure looks like in any of those cases and have some idea of what to do about it. If much remains unpredictable, you are not describing a marathon. You are describing being lost in the fucking woods. And the rest of the post reinforces this. It makes me so mad, I can't even summon the energy to lob a stray at Bungie. George Orwell's 1946 essay, Politics in the English Language, is often cited for its concluding list of cute rules for clear English writing. But that overlooks the essay's argument that bad writing is common because it is useful for defending the indefensible. Referring to political speech full of familiar turns of phrases, Orwell says, if the speech he is making is one that he is accustomed to make over and over again, he may be almost unconscious of what he is saying, as one is when one utters responses in church. And this reduced state of consciousness, if not indispensable, is at any rate favorable to political conformity. Remember that MIT study that found LLM use correlated to reduced retention? When we say, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? It can't just be rhetorical. And luckily, in this case, it's not. What Nadella is describing in this post is a complete and total void of uses for LLMs. They have no idea how to make these things useful. Nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. They need people to change for them. If I was a MicroSlop investor and read this, I would be wondering why a little bit of pee just came out.
Thanks, Cameron.
You know, Walter Cronkite was in that dinosaur movie.
Wow, that's not even a reference for us. That was for our parents. Though I guess we could come up with a cool sign-off.
And that's the way it is. January 22nd, 2026.
That's gimmick infringement.
Ah, shit. Coming up, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has won the coveted award for Most Game of the Year awards in a single year. Glad to see people finally appreciating a great rhythm game. If I remember correctly, the team at Rhythm Cafe did manage to defeat the Paintress, which is a major part of finishing that game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They went into the epilogue, and then after the epilogue, they get to do Act 3.
No.
I know, right? I don't like it either.
That's very respectfully, and I mean this with love, that's so French.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thinking the same thing. Yeah. Good job, Ubisoft.
Yeah. Well, good job to those former Ubi devs.
Yeah.
With,
whose name of their studio I don't remember.
Sandfall?
Sure. Yes? Great.
See, it confuses because Landfall are the people that make like the like truck jumpy game.
Oh, okay.
That like go into people's channels when they're streaming it and like mess with them. Landfall and Aggro Crab made Peak.
Yes.
Together.
Oh, okay.
And I think Claire Obscure was made by
Sandfall
I think
Interactive.
It's Sandfall Interactive.
Okay.
It's that or is it or Standstill?
Sandfall, you are correct.
Okay, good.
And
Phew.
it's published by Kepler.
Right.
Feels
Kepler.
like the kind of thing that we should know better, the fact that they've won over 430 Game of the Year awards this year.
Well, they kind of, I mean, I feel like they've kind of been like, no, we're just a little guy.
Yeah.
Because they kind of want to be like, you know, I mean, they don't have a big team. To be fair,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do not have a big team. And I don't think they're being dishonest.
Disingenuous?
No, I don't think so about the fact that they are a small team. But, you know.
This whole idea of most Game of the Year awards, I thought was very funny.
It's very funny.
Because it was somebody on Reset Era who had gone through and found like every listing where they had said, oh, this game wins Game of the Year. I'm assuming through like, not just because somebody on a random blog being like, I'm giving this my Game of the Year. It's like more like, this is an outlet. We're saying we voted on it and these are our picks for the year or whatever. But the way it works is like, they've got over 430. Number 2 is Elden Ring with 420 some.
Nice.
And then the next one below that, which I don't even remember because they only have over 300.
Wow, that's
And-
quite a gulf.
And I think that's because more video game journalism outlets have opened over the years, and therefore it starts to get wider and like.
So I'm just going to repeat this.
Sure.
You heard this beforehand. I was saying years ago, going into an electronics boutique here in Canada, and you'd see that there'd be a game that would come out, and then they'd do like a couple DLCs for it, and then they would repackage it later in the year and re-release it around Christmas as the Game of the Year edition.
Yes.
And I was always like, who gave you Game of the Year? Because there's only like at the time it was like, well, it wasn't IGN.
Was it?
It wasn't GameSpot.
Yeah.
Who says your Game of the Year? So there must be somewhere out there on the internet was someone that was like, I give this game Game of the Year, and the marketers were like, that counts.
Great.
That counts.
We'll take it.
Put it on the box.
Yeah, because I always read it as like, oh, there's no way that this is Game of the Year, whatever it is that has all the expansions. It's literally just we kept making game all year. Therefore, this is Game of the
This is
Year.
the game of our year.
For us, because
Our year.
Our year was spent making this.
Speaking of our year, we're back for Checkpoint. We were off for, obviously, we had the holidays and then was very other busy things
Like damn
happening.
near a month we were off for.
I think so.
Yeah.
We did do the quiz, which was
Yes.
nice. That's always fun to do. But now back again. And CheckPoint has been ongoing.
Yes.
So keeping you up to date on gaming news. If you haven't checked out CheckPoint, it's Paul, Beej, and Heather chatting about gaming news. What do you think is the biggest thing that we missed on this show that happened during the holidays?
The overtime thing?
Yeah, was there anything? Like for a while there just wasn't much happening.
I mean, because like as a rule, we don't try to cover studio closures when we can. We
Yeah.
covered GameStop closures today, but it's like we try not to be like, unless there's something funny in there. And I just remember hearing it's like, a lot of people have under 1,000, but a lot of people have continued to lose their job in the interim, and it's kind of like that's an awful lot for the very beginning of a year. I don't know if that was the biggest news per se. God, whenever I think of like what's big news, I'm always thinking, did it happen in Fortnite? Did it happen in Minecraft? Did it happen in fucking Roblox? Like, and it's like, I don't want to think about any of those things. So yeah, I don't think we've missed anything. I'm gonna say that right now and anger everybody in the comments. You go into the comments and think that that we did miss something very important. Go ahead and leave your comment to let us know. We might read those.
Is Golden the first song that has been added to a Fortnite emote that has also been nominated for an Academy Award?
Oh, an Academy Award! Wow.
The Oscar nominations. No, the Oscar nominations came out yesterday at time of recording, and Golden is up for Best Song, and the Huntrix are in Fortnite.
That is kind of a weird lineup. Yeah, I never would have thought.
I don't have an answer to that question because I just thought of it, but maybe you do.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Unless they have like the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in Fortnite or something. I'm sure that won like Best Soundtrack.
That would be that would work well in Fortnite as well. Yeah, but it's nice to be back, and thank you for being here as well. You can support everything that we do here at Loading Ready Run on our Patreon. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Member shout outs at the end of this video.
And look at that store.loadingreadyrun.com.
Yeah. Coming up at the end of the month on the streaming, we have the pre-Rift for the new Riftbound expansion, Spirit Forged.
Right.
We're going to be doing a stream with Covert Go Blue. We're bringing him in up to the moon base, and we're going to be streaming Riftbound that afternoon on the 31st. It's a week before they call their pre-releases a pre-Rift. So for us, it's a pre-Rift. Tune in for that. And Highlander Championships coming up next month.
true.
All sorts of fun stuff. So
Keep an eye on the schedule. You can find that at loadingreadyrun.com/live. And there will be mention of those events coming in there. But of course, at the end of like every stream we do, we are also shouting out, here's the thing that's coming up throughout the week. So keep an eye on that too.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. What are Ubisoft even doing right now? We don't know. Goodbye.
Sorry.
Oh, I forgot. Nelson wrote the GameStop story.
Right. And Cameron wrote the story that he got to say, which makes sense.
Yeah. What?